You briefed the press, did you not, when you were there?
Well, I had several jobs. One of my jobs was that of analyst. I also was an interrogator and indeed briefed the press when we, the CIA, wanted to circulate disinformation on a particular issue. Disinformation is not necessarily a lie. It may be a half-truth. And we would pick out a journalist. I would go do the briefing and hope that he would put the information in print. For instance, if we wanted to get across to the American public that the North Vietnamese were building up their force structure in South Vietnam, I would go to a journalist and advise him that in the past 6 months, X number of North Vietnamese forces had come down the Ho Chi Minh Trail system through southern Laos. Now, there is no way a journalist can check that information. So either he goes with the information or he doesn't, and ordinarily or usually the journalist would go with it because it looked like some kind of exclusive. And I would say our percentage planning that kind of data was 70 to 80%. The correspondents we targeted were those who had terrific influence, the most respected journalists in Saigon, like Robert Chaplin of the New Yorker magazine, Kai's Beach of the Los Angeles Times from time to time, and also he worked for the Chicago Daily News. Bud Merrick of U.S. News and World Report, Malcolm Brown of the New York Times, even Maynard Parker of Newsweek magazine. We would go after these gentlemen. I would be directed to cultivate them, to spend time with them at the Caravel Hotel or the Continental Hotel, to socialize with them, and slowly but surely to try to gain their confidence by dolloping out valid information which was true. And then I would drop into a conversation the data that we wanted to get across, which might not be true. One piece of data, for instance, that we managed to plant in the New Yorker magazine had to do with a supposed North Vietnamese effort in 1973 to develop airfields along the border of South Vietnam. The reason we wanted to plant this information was that we were trying to persuade the U.S. Congress that Saigon should continue to get a great deal of aid, and that the North Vietnamese were the chief violators of the ceasefire accord. That was printed in the New Yorker magazine under the byline of Robert Chaplin, as indeed was a great deal of such information which we tried to circulate. If I planted a piece of information with a reporter, I would ordinarily then try to create an environment in which he could not check the information. I would go to the British ambassador and brief him on the disinformation I had just given the reporter. So when the reporter wanted to cross-check what I'd told him with, say, the British ambassador, New Zealand ambassador, or what have you, he would get false confirmation, the same message coming back at him, and he'd say, aha, I've got proof that Frank Snepp told me the truth, when in fact what he'd gotten was simply an echo of what I'd given him in the first place via the British ambassador or other of our friendly diplomatic contacts. I am, as an ex-CIA agent, opposed to the disinformation activities in which I was involved. I admit that I was involved, and I think it served no useful purpose. Propagandizing the American public or Congress is not the CIA's job.
Shalom, shalom. All praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham, Racha, Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, and salutations to all you sincere Ken. And once again, it's another day for another expose on Esau, Edom, and usually when you have these exposés or, bringing out information against Esau, Edom, it's always these from the mouth of these Edomites, right? As it is written, Psalm 64 verse 8, so they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. And right now, Esau, Edom is exposing himself, as you could clearly see from the video before this one, and they are exposing themselves. They are revealing, the evil and wicked things that they have done on the earth. And it is always usually from the mouth of these Edomites, okay, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Basham Yahushai. The Most High Yahweh Basham Yahushai is exposing these devils with these devils, okay? Because if it wasn't Esau Edom that said it, if it was the Hebrew Israelites, okay, if it was the heathen from another nation, nobody would believe it, right? Because all they would do is just, all Esau would do is just discredit them. That's over, and then they over. They are this, they are that. You can't believe the information they are bringing out, and the people of this world, right? The dumbest two-thirds out there and the dumbest heathen out there would not believe the information. But now you're seeing this information come out from the mouth of Esau, Edom, and so many of these devils are exposing the actions of themselves and other devils as well. Okay, which is showing you and is revealing just how Esau, Edom is ruling over the earth. And you see that he is not ruling over the earth in righteousness. He's not, ruling over the earth justly or in proper judgment, but in wickedness. And all that he is doing is he's just trying to destroy and break apart destroy and weaken the nations in order to consolidate his own power. Okay. And this is how this devil works, being Esau, Edom, wickedness, how does that scripture go? We'll probably get that one as well. But as he said, let's just go to it right now. With unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. That is exactly how Esau has ruled over the earth. So this is the book of Ecclesiasticus 10 verse 8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. And because of, righteous dealings, that's exactly the MO of Esau, Edom, and how they got their power, how they preserve their power, how they, consolidate their power to make sure that, they continue to reign through deceit, through wickedness, through underhanded deals, okay, by deceiving the people, by, basically spreading their democracy, okay, like the elder Malcolm has says, the democracy grenade, where they go into a nation that always just somehow happens to have, that always happens to have resources. And it's funny how that works. How the US only ever invades nations that only ever invades nations that has natural resources, right? They always go into a nation that has some resources that they need, and then completely, destabilize it and come in this, in the name of peace, okay, in the name of, keeping the peace and maintaining quote unquote freedom. But you know what? But you should already know, okay, and you should understand that there is no such thing as freedom with Esau Edom, okay? Because as soon as let's go to that, because as soon as you have these devils, okay, as soon as these devils have any power over you, they put you in captivity and they oppress you in your heritage. But we'll get this first. Micah 2 verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. That's just the thing with Esau Edom, Why are they wicked? Why are they the wicked? Why are they doing so much evil on the earth? It's always funny how it's always funny how anytime throughout history, even to this day, whenever you think about the most evil people, okay, whenever you think about the most wicked people, even just the elites of Esau Edom that are not ruling over the earth justly, everybody on the earth knows this. Everybody on the earth knows who is in power. Everybody on the earth knows who is in rulership right now, and everybody on the earth as well knows that the rulers of the earth are wicked as hell and not ruling over the earth righteously. And even the scriptures tell you that, these devils, they have not, these devils that they are not ruling over the earth rightly, right? Because the scripture said that what, how's that? Well, let me see if I can get that precept. I don't want to forget it, so let me just bring it out. I don't want to go and forget it now. How's that? Wrongful judgment, right? Let me get that. The earth is. Here it is. So this is the book of Hebrews 1 verse 4. Let me start from it. Okay. Hebrews 1 verse 4. Therefore the law is slacked, and judgment doth never go forth. For the wicked doth compass about the righteous, therefore wrong judgment proceedeth. Okay. And because Esau, Edom, the wicked, is in rulership right now, because they have compassed the righteous, they are in rulership over the righteous, they are over the righteous. The word compass, I believe it means to circle around, right? Or basically, they are, because they are above us, they are the top in this kingdom. That's why you see so much wickedness on the earth. That's why you see so much injustice on the earth, okay? Because these devils are in power and they cannot rule righteously. Now, back to what I was saying. The elites are wicked, okay? The rulers of the earth are all wicked, and even though they all belong to one race of people, that's the thing about Esau, man. Whenever Esau does some wicked act, suddenly it's everybody's problem, right? We all need to do better. We all need to be more kind to each other. It's not, it's not just one race of people, it's not just the Edomites, it's all of us, it's us versus them. It's not a race, it's not a racial battle, it's a class battle. You see all these low-level Edomites trying to bail out their elites, because at the end of the day, as much as these devils want to talk about how they are against the elites, they are against the elites, they are not, okay? Even these low-level Edomites, they still support the elites of Esau, Edom, because they will still make excuses for them. They will still bail them out. They will still, discount them of all evils, all for the sake of what? So that they will not be associated. So all for the sake of what? First and foremost, you know how to hide their own, you have to hide the part that they played as well, because all of Esau, Edom, from the top of the top, from a freaking Rothschild, to to the what now, the low level Edomites, the lowest of the low, all these homeless Edomites, they all play a part and benefit from their rulership in this kingdom. Okay, so these low level Edomites, they understand, what's going on. They know that all the elites and all of Esau, all the elites, all the wickedness is coming from their people. So they are trying to, basically they're trying to throw they're trying to throw the elites under the bus in order to get some kind of mercy. So let's read on in this book of Micah 2 and see whether Esau, Edom will get any mercy. Micah 2 verse 2. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. And there's nobody on the earth I can go to and ask them how far, and they'll tell you that they haven't been oppressed in some way, shape, or form by Esau, Edom, because this devil's wickedness has compassed, once again, gone around the whole earth, It's global now, and everybody is feeling the oppression by Esau, Edom, because guess what? If you have guess what? If you have anything that has to do with Babylon the Great or the West in your country, you wear suits and ties to work, that's you being oppressed by Esau, Edom, because it shows that their ways, okay, their doctrine has permeated into your community, into your nation, and your people are slowly starting to adopt that Edomite culture, and which is a culture of wickedness. And if you are under these devils' culture, you are following their ways, you are following their doctrines and their philosophy, that's oppression right there, okay? Because anything that leads you to go against the Most High Yahweh Shami or Shai is basically, bringing you into sin, man, and you being, captive under it. Once again, oppression. And let's not even go into how Esau treats the nations, okay? And how basically all you nations, all you heathen, and even you Israelites as well, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, you are captives under Esau, Edom, okay? So now Micah 2 verse 3. Therefore thus saith Yahweh, behold, against this family do I devise an evil, from which ye shall not remove your necks, neither shall ye go haughtily, for the time is evil. And that's right. So it's every single Edomite, from once again, from the lowest Rothschild to the lowest level homeless Edomites, they are all going to receive the indignation and the judgment of the Most High, Yahweh Basham Yahushai, for your oppression, for the wickedness, okay? And because of all the evil that you have done on the earth. And it doesn't matter how much you expose yourself, as it is written, right? And let me go and get that precept. They shall seek to please the poor. Because all these devils are doing right now with this expose, this is what they call it outdated information, right? That's why it's being brought out, all these information they're bringing out, this, all the what's what I'm looking for right now. But basically, the information they are bringing out, right, the tactics the CIA uses in their espionage, in their propaganda pushing, in their psyops, and so on and so forth. These are all outdated tactics. They've changed it up. That's why it's being brought out. Anytime, the information is irrelevant anymore, it is irrelevant anymore, that's when they will bring it out, right? So now start exposing it, give you the clearance to actually bring it out and information and expose this information. Basically, because we are transitioning into the global reset, right? The NWO. That's why you are seeing these devils, they are pushing out exposes on themselves at a high rate. But once again, that's the most Yahweh Shami Shai in the background playing his chess moves, man. Because all the plans of Esau right now, if you look closely and you look at Esau's plans, you realize that basically he's setting himself up for his own destruction. Because, and before I get this, I have to go and get this as well. What you see with Esau, man, this devil is proud, okay? This devil is proud for no reason. He's proud as hell, thinking that, his kingdom is about to come out, is about to come through. That's all he has to do is just completely dismantle the structure, destroy the infrastructure of this kingdom, right? So I can build a new kingdom with with an entirely new kingdom and force the people of this kingdom, because if you are of the hopeful elect, if you are in this truth, you are not of this kingdom anymore. But basically, the people of this kingdom to adopt his ways, okay, to follow him into his great riches, his NWO. But what you don't understand is that your enterprise will not stand, okay? Even the scriptures tells you that the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai will come at you while you are eating. When you're about to crown your enterprise as a success, that's when Yahweh Hashem Yahushai will come back and basically completely dismantle and completely destroy this kingdom and completely destroy it, okay? So right now, you see Esau, he's breaking everything apart, he's collapsing the economy, collapsing governments, he's collapsing the system of rulership, the system of rulership, the democratic rulership, right? He's collapsing that as well, collapsing all the infrastructures, all the infrastructures, all the institutions, and exposing, the exposing his wickedness, exposing the wickedness of the former regime, because he's about to change everything up. But what you don't understand is that you will not succeed. So basically, what you're doing is that you're destroying the only kingdom you have left, okay? Because there isn't going to be a part two or a renewing of your kingdom to have to do the great reset and the NWO, right? That's not going to happen through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, because it's already written that, this is it, okay? Once you want to start setting up that NWO, that's when the destruction will come. So now, Obadiah chapter 1, starts from verse 3. Obadiah 1 verse 3. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? And that's these devils for you, because right now the elites are thinking they are soaring high, they are flying high, and they're thinking that there's no way they can be taken down. Their enterprise, everything is about to be a success. Everything is going so smoothly for them. Nobody can take them down anymore, no matter how much information that they reveal. Hell, the Rothschilds could come out right now and expose themselves and be like, we are the rulers of the world, we are the ones that are in control, you are all slaves under us, we own all of you, and nothing would happen, okay? And that's how secure they are in their position. But what you don't understand is that Obadiah 1 verse 4, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and basically, no matter how high and haughty you think you are, even if you lift yourself up to the level where the eagle soars, okay, because you know how high, because out of all the animals, out of all the birds, I think the eagle is the one that can fly the highest. Even if you lift yourself up to the position where, to the heights in which the eagle flies, that does not matter. It changes nothing, okay? Because it does not change who you are. Having rulership, having wealth, having control over the whole earth does not change who you are. And you can clearly see that with the way Esau Edom acts, and you would think that, all this power would at least give him some form of understanding or humbleness, because even these devils understand that their power and their authority comes from the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. These devils know that their kingdom is coming to an end, that their rulership is coming to an end, but they are still proud. They are still wicked. They are still out here thinking that, they can play the Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and somehow deliver themselves from their own destruction. That's why the scriptures say, Psalm 2 verse 1, why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? Everybody in the world, everybody outside of this truth, they are all on some dumb shit. Okay, they are all imagining some, dumb, some should have flipped the orientation, this phone, but they're all imagining some ridiculous case, right? A ridiculous case. What's what I'm looking for? Or basically, they see themselves somehow escaping judgment, and they see this kingdom continuing forever, and them, prospering in it. Especially you Israelites, of all the people, to imagine they can get some form of prosperity in this kingdom. But anyway, let's continue. Obadiah 1 verse 4. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith Yahweh. And the point being, no matter how high you fly, Esau Edom, no matter what level you think you've got into, the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai will put you back in your place. Okay? And you should already know where your place is. You should already know where the place of these devils are at the bottom. Okay? They shall be as their own dung, as the scriptures say. Okay? And that is what this expose is about. You see Esau, Edom, you see these devils, they are exposing themselves. They are constantly talking about the evils and the wickedness that they've done all throughout the earth, and the practices, the strategies, the tactics they use in order to push their wicked agenda, their evils on the earth. Like even the apostles were always telling you that Esau Edom doesn't just tell you a lie. Okay, even when he tells you the truth, he doesn't just tell you the truth. He mixes it in. So he mixes truth with lies in order to make, just to push his agenda and make it more powerful. Okay, that's basically what your propaganda is. That's basically what that's what your misinformation is. Okay, and it's basically mixing in truth with lies, and it will tell you that okay, the so-called Negroes, or Latinos, and forgetting, leaving out the so-called Latinos and Native American Indians, but the so-called Negroes are the Jews according to the Bible, right? And by saying that they're the Jews right now, that's attacking the small hearts. So it's anti-Sem. Instead of calling yourself what you really are, which are the Israelites, because that term Jew, it was a byword made by the Romans, okay, and they still use bywords for us. Even when they admit our heritage, they still refer to us with those bywords and proverbs. They will never say that we are the Israelites, okay? They will call us Jews, right? And then you now push the video, and then of course you will push at the so-called Negroes and the Jews, forgetting the so-called Latinos and Native American Indians. And then you go as far as to say, bring out a agent like Ronald Dalton, and he'll tell you the UFOs aren't real, so discounting your salvation. He'll tell you that the land of Israel is actually in Africa, discounting your true heritage, the true land that the Most High give unto you. Okay. And I haven't heard any mention of our Lord Yahushai from Ronald Dalton. Who knows if he actually even believes in Yahushai, right? So you never know with these people out here, man. This is how Esau Edom spreads his disinformation. This is how Esau Edom confirms the truth. He'll admit to you being an Israelite. He'll admit to the chariots existing, but he won't tell you what they actually are. Just little things like that to bring and spread confusion on the earth. So many doctrines, so many people out here pushing wickedness, okay, and majority of them just your casual average bug outs. But some of them as well, a good number of them being agents that were, basically set up by Esau in order to push misinformation out there, man. Okay. That's why the scripture says that, You have scoffers out there walking after their own loss, in the perilous times. How does that go again? It's okay, that was what I was thinking about. Perilous times, some men shall be lovers of themselves more than lovers of the Most High. Yahweh Hashem, heedy, high-minded. Let me get that. So this is because 2 Timothy 3 verse 1. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come, for men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truth breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce despisers of those that are good, traitors, heedy, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of the Most High, Yahweh, having a form of godliness but denying the power thereof. From such turn away. And that's the point right there from verse 5. They have a form of godliness, which is they have a form of the truth, okay? Because this truth, is likened unto the godliness because they bring you closer to the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. So they have the truth, but not 100% truth, right? But not the whole truth, because there are some parts of the doctrine that they say that is not true. There are parts of the doctrine that they claim that is not a part of the doctrine. So they'll tell you that, oh well, Esau ain't really Esau ain't really the white man, right? That's actually Japheth denying part of denying the power of the scriptures. Basically, what you're saying is that also the scriptures are going off in this prophecy because it clearly tells you that Esau Edom will be in rulership in the last days. It clearly points to the wicked as Esau Edom and the rulers of the earth in the last days as Esau Edom. That's basically, what's a lot of these scoffers out here, these bug outs out here, a lot of these camps without the that don't have the complete truth are doing, man. But yeah, and let me just outline the video. So with that, I'll end the video right here. All praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahawashi, Ba'asham Racha Kwadash, Wa Abad Babal, and through the Spirit, I hope you Akim and you are quite edified. Shalom.